Welcome to another edition of Survival Mode, where we give entrepreneurs a step-by-step roadmap to starting their own business. I'm Bert Robinson.
I'm Kevin Beers.
I'm Michael Grant Jr.
You can reach us by email at hello@survivalmode.live or check out our website at www.survivalmode.live. Let's get to it. Welcome back to another edition of Survival Mode. We are in step number 2. Are you ready? Oh, we've got a lot. What is step number 2? Step number 2 is development is in the details. But before we get into all of that, it is time for a little bit of news you might be able to use. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, this week our article is entitled Reducing Returns via Online Info and Product Views Equivalent to a Fitting Room. So basically, we've talked about this before in the news. One of the best strategies for reducing return rates, because currently the return rate for this past Christmas was something like $300 billion worth of merchandise, which equaled up to something like 16 to 20% of all sales. But perhaps the best strategy for the return rates is involving preventing them from happening in the first place. One key tactic is to invest heavily in product description pages that e-commerce customers examine before they make a buying decision. In the case of apparel, for example, these pages are like in a fitting room, offering a 360-degree product views, sizing guides, access to customer reviews, and other content that can give consumers confidence that the product will look and fit as expected to reduce the return rate. In addition, retailers should study the reasons consumers are returning the products. This is where our data comes in, so that merchandising adjustments can be made to remedy the customer concerns. If they can improve the product itself and make it less likely to be returned, that itself can be impactful. Even artificial intelligence is even being used in learning and playing an increasingly important role in the process. So there you go.
Well, I hope that artificial intelligence learns me so I don't have to return anything. But, some of the companies are, saying return it and just keep it and we'll send you something else because they don't want to deal with the return.
Exactly. If the low value item.
No. Even the high value items. I bought something for $500 and there was an issue with it.
But it was broken. And there's no reason to return that. That's a little bit different. Now, what a lot of people do is they'll buy 5 different sizes of the same thing to see which one fits. So by improving how it's described online, can reduce that problem.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Getting those pages and getting the descriptions helps a great deal. All right, it's time to start step number 2. The title of step number 2 is Development is in the Details. And that's
wait, let me jump in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so development in the details sounds great, but I believe we should call this vet the vision. All right, vet the vision. The reason why I say that, vet the vision. The reason why is because our last show was all about capturing the vision, developing the vision, doing everything in regards to the vision. And I think now it's time to see if the vision can properly materialize. So let's vet the vision.
Oh, Kevin, he's traveling all over the United States, and now he's gonna put another name to it. I like it. What about you, Kevin?
Okay. I'm good with it, and I'll second the motion. How's that?
All right. Well, now step number 2 is now entitled Vet the Vision. So now when we talk about vetting the vision, let's get into, can your vision operate like a business? That's what we need to talk about. Can it do that? Now, Michael, since you want to vet the vision, okay, we've gotten all our information together, like we talked about in episodes 2 through 4. Now we're going to review all the ideas that we got together, the notes, and we're going to determine if your vision can truly be a business. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is the point where I call it the 3 C's: commitment, capable, and competent. Okay, those 3 C's. at this point in time, you have a vision, but we don't know if this vision actually can materialize to be an actual business. So one thing we know for sure at this point in time, if you're moving forward, now you're committed to seeing if the vision really can manifest into a business model. But now we got to see if you are competent, and let's see if the vision makes sense. So this is really the process where we got to go through all the research, all the reviews, and all the different things to look at if we're compliant. Can we be compliant, and can we actually carry it out?
Now, I like this idea. Now, but you know what? Do you know that our vision could be somebody else's vision and we don't even realize? You know, that's a distinct possibility. Kevin, wouldn't it be a good idea to compare our vision with even pre-existing business models and successful business models? Wouldn't you think that's a good idea?
Well, absolutely, because if your business model is so unique that no one else has done it, that doesn't mean it's bad, but there is no track record to base any real decision on. So you want to compare your vision to existing businesses that are already doing what you're doing. Most people are not going to have something so unique it's never been done before. If that's the case, this is where that whole vetting of the vision really comes in. We really got to think about it a lot more.
Okay, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. So, you know, wait a minute, you guys, I'm still making calls. I'm still asking people. I'm calling the local industry associations. I'm getting more information about the feasibility about this model. Michael, in doing that, am I getting specific about that business, about my own business idea, or I'm just getting more information right now?
I would say at this point in time, you're getting more information because you you're vetting the vision. You're not scrutinizing all the details just yet. You just want to make sure that it's possible, that it can turn into an actual business model. And then secondly, here's the other part that a lot of people don't think about. You got to make sure that you are capable of carrying it out. So while you're vetting the vision, you need to vet yourself.
You know what? You talked about competent, and before we get in that, you know, you can reach us by email at hello@survivalmode.live or go to our website, check out all the episodes at www.survivalmode.live. We've updated the website. Kevin did a fantastic job with it. We've got more to add to it, more material for you. But we're going to talk about that competence. Michael, are you talking about me being as the one who's you're working with? Am I competent? Kevin, I don't want you to say a word on this part, okay? Because I know how you are. All right, don't say a word. But I'm so glad you're muted right now. but this is the part where you're trying to tell me, Michael, do I know what I'm doing?
Yes, yes, and no. That's a very tough question because you're not going to know everything about your business. You're not going to know everything about the actual business model itself, but you have to be the leader in carrying this thing out. That means making sure that you are in position to identify what needs to be done and you take the lead so that you can get all the people, the resources, and everything else to be competent enough to carry the vision out and carry the business model out.
Excellent. Now, Kevin and we do this all the time, but Kevin, I'm gonna lead you in here. Okay. If you don't know the information, you've got to leverage others. You've got to leverage others. Kevin, how important is that part of this process of leveraging others?
Well, my question would be do you want to make money? Because if you're not willing to leverage, you're not really willing to make the money you want to make. You can do it yourself. You can learn it. You can make all the mistakes. It's going to cost you. It's going to delay making the money up front because you're not going to be doing what you need to do. So to me, you just have to be willing to say, you know what, I don't know how to do that. I'll find someone who does. And then that's where you leverage.
we've dealt with several people that had the thought process of being hard-headed. And I don't want to say it like that, but I want to say it like that. Okay. We have to be blunt in this when we're talking to you. Cannot be hard-headed with this. You've got to be open-minded and realize that if you leverage somebody who knows more than you need to listen. Okay. Now, I say that from experience. I hate to say that from experience, but there's some people on this, on this podcast that were hard-headed. And I'm not going to mention any names myself. Okay. But,
all of us.
Actually, all of us, that's true. All of us made the same mistakes.
All right. All right. So, I feel good that everyone here has made the same mistake. But you have to be willing to, oh man, my dad said this to me years ago, rest his soul. He said, sometimes you got to shut up and listen. Sometimes you just have to shut up and listen. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I want to add this too. They said, and we all have heard this in some aspect, experience is the best teacher, but it's the most expensive. And so when we don't leverage, guess what? We end up creating learning lessons along the way that we could probably avoid if we just listen. And at the end of the day, the more you get it, I would say this, the more you get understanding about what you're trying to do and accomplish, the more you're going to want to leverage, because it just makes it even more fun, more fascinating. It makes it a better developmental process when you have people with you going through it.
I totally agree. Kevin, you want to leverage. It's important, right?
Oh, exactly. Leveraging will save you so much between time and money. Even if some of that leverage costs you some money to get it, it's going to be so worth it in the end, because if the amount of wheel spinning you might do just to get done what you need to get done, it probably isn't worth it. But hey, we got to go. I do want to say that you can reach us by email at hello@survivalmode.com. I'm sorry, survivalmode.live, or our website at survivalmode.live.